So to start off, I'm gonna go ahead and recommend that you take your cutting board, and if you actually place a damp towel, you don't want it to be soaking wet, but if you place like a damp towel, damp paper towel underneath of your board, it's going to keep it, as you can see, it slides around a lot right now. If you go ahead and put that under here, and you can see what happens. It won't move anymore, which is gonna be great for when you're chopping vegetables because you wanna make sure you're doing it safely. Next up, we're going to be doing an onion. Now, onions are one of those things that you either you know how to cut them or you don't. So the way that you are supposed to cut an onion, if you do it correctly, it'll actually dice itself based on the way the layers are set inside the onion. So what you want to do is you want to find your end with the roots, right? So I like to think of it this way. Just like you don't want to cut off the roots of your family, you don't want to cut off the roots of your onion, right? So go ahead. This is the root end, so we're going to cut off the opposite end. Go ahead and slice straight through that. Now you can see I actually did not peel the skin off yet. I'm going to do that in a moment. Now what I've done here is I've given myself a nice flat side on my onion, and that's going to stop it from rolling around. Next up, we're going to chop. Now be careful doing this. We're going to cut our onion in half. So what I've done is I've cut straight through the root end now. I'm going to go ahead and remove some of this peel here that's kind of getting in my way. And now we have 2 halves of an onion with these little ends on them. So now is actually the portion where I go ahead, I peel off the outermost layer. Set that to the side. So next up, we're going to be making some little lines. So I'm going to point the end that's been chopped here to you. Now, whenever I do this, I'm not chopping all the way through. So I want to keep the root end intact. So I'm going to put the tip of my knife on the cutting board, and I'm just going to do some little lines. Now notice I am not going all the way through the onion. I'm just going as far back as I can without quite cutting through it. Next, we're going to make a cut this way. So just do a quick swipe through the middle of your onion. And last but not least, we're going to take it and just start chopping like this. And what you're going to see happen, do you see all these little bitty pieces that are actually coming off this onion? So look here, it may fall apart in chunks like this, but once you start to break it apart, look what happens. Do you see the little bitty pieces? Personally, I find this so much quicker and easier to do than dicing it. Some people, they might not want to fool with it. They might just want to dice it the way they've been doing it for years. That's fine too. Me personally, I find this faster. I've been doing this for years. It's just, once you know how to do it, it's quick and easy. So you can see our little bitty, some of these pieces might look bigger, but once you start to crack them apart, they're little bitty shreds.